Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Education Society managed RNGPIT Institute of Technology, previously known as FETR, is one of Gujarat's leading institute based in Bardoli. The institute is recognized by AICTE and affiliated to Gujarat Technological University. The institute was established in the year 2010. The institute has 5 engineering streams: chemical engineering, civil engineering, computer science and engineering, electrical engineering, and mechanical engineering. The institute has 7 departments, including science and humanities and workshop. The institute has dynamic curriculum, robust and talented pool of faculty members, and state-of-the-art infrastructure in all the departments. It is well known for imparting quality education, active research, and also nurturing students for holistic development achieved through student engagement tools like continuous evaluation, practical-oriented learning, departmental electives, soft skills development, and many more. Recently, RNGPIT has started AICTE approved and Gujarat Technological University affiliated 3 years industry-oriented graduation program, Bachelor of Vocation on Skill Development Based Higher Education. The institute has 3 BVOC courses: BVOC in Software Development, BVOC in Production Technology, and BVOC in Refrigeration and Air Conditioning. The institute has organized 144 expert talks, 165 industrial visits, 90 workshops, 76 seminars, 32 STTPs, and 20 faculty development programs till today. The institute is proud of its academic results. RNGPIT is continuously securing top rank at state level and zone level in Gujarat Technological University. India's first Common Engineering Facility Center, governed by Setu Foundation, is being developed at our college campus. The institute has signed MOU with UGEC PowerMax Private Limited Vadodara for skill development, industrial training in wind energy, with Aspiring Minds Gurgaon for the job placement, for Trivedi Global Education Mumbai for the guidance of higher education in abroad, with eYantra IIT Mumbai for the development of robotic laboratory, and with Reliance Jio for the development of recruitment and training center in the field of ICT. Training and placement cell of the institute is active and alive. RNGPIT has organized 2 job fairs in the association with Directorate of Employment and Training, Government of Gujarat, and NG Patel Polytechnic. The institute has organized 2 IT job fair in the association with Surat IT Company Owners Association, SICO Surat. The institute has started SSIP cell for development of innovative projects and patent generation. Various projects done by our students have been presented at National International Expo and Enclaves. RNGPIT has established NPTEL local chapter for various online courses provided by IITs. Institute has run various skill development courses free of cost under Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana approved by National Skill Development Corporation. RNGPIT has developed Hansaben B. Poonawala Vocational Training and Research Center with 14 advanced well-equipped laboratories. The institute has developed Tinkering Lab with the Association of Student Startup and Innovation Policy Cell, Gujarat State, in which students can enhance their knowledge in the field of IoT, robotics, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, calligraphy, and many more. The Chemical Engineering Department of RNGPIT is recognized as Schedule 1 Environmental Auditor by Gujarat Pollution Control Board Gandhinagar since 2012. The institute has around 40 industries allotted by GPCB for their audit work. NABL accredited Environmental Audit Consultancy Laboratory and Civil Material Testing Laboratory of the institute have acquired ISO 9001-2015 certification. There are many achievements done by faculties and awarded by gold medals. Every year, students have been facilitated with gold medals.
Hi, I'm Zenia Nanjiani and I'm a software engineer in Silicon Valley. I did my master's in computer science from California State University, Sacramento, and I did my bachelor's of engineering in computer science from FETR, which now known as RNGPIT. I have been asked to share my thoughts on a few key areas. So the first one was the campus life. So I can definitely say it was both fun and studies. Studies in the sense that we had to prepare for Viva, GTU exams, and for writing assignment. And another thing is the fun part was that we used to have two kind of activities. Like one is the visual smoothie, which I personally liked the most because it was of both, combination of both gaming activities and coding. And another one is the kashish. So in that dancing, singing, so and other cultural activities too. So it was very much enjoyable.
The institute has been awarded with the Appreciation Award for Green Campus at Energy Expo by South Gujarat Productivity Council. In our campus, more than 3,000 trees plantation and 194 number of solar panels with 65 kilowatt capacity for utilization of energy. Students are given full facilities of library with the collection of around 15,000 volumes, 4,000 titles, 30 national and international journals, and 30 magazines. The institute provides facility of book bank and digital library to the students. The canteen facility is situated within the college campus. All type of hygienic meals and snacks are available at subsidized rate. Our institute provides hostel facilities for our college students. Vishwasmruti, Cultural Festival Kashish, Sports Week, outbound training, and festival celebrations are carried out for students' welfare and growth. RNG Patel Institute of Technology strongly believes in all-round development of the students who can shape the better future.
Very good afternoon to all the faculties of RNGPIT family and all viewers who joined us online. I'm Dr. Madhavi Desai, Head of Computer Science and Engineering Department of RNG Patel Institute of Technology. Welcome you all in the webinar series organized by the department. In this webinar series, our today's topic is opportunity cells for engineers. And for that, we have a keynote speaker, industry expert, Mr. Brijesh Waghela. And I'm really happy that Mr. Brijesh Waghela, he is the alumni of our department of RNG Patel Institute of Technology from 2010 batch. So we whole RNGPIT family heartily welcome you, Mr. Brijesh. And I request Professor Nikunj Kansara sir to welcome and to introduce our key expert and our today's topic.
Sure, ma'am. Sure. Good afternoon to all of you. I'm Professor Nikunj Kansara, Assistant Professor, CSE Department, RNGPIT. Welcome you all in today's live webinar on opportunities in sales for engineers specifically. I'm feeling proud to introduce today's expert, Mr. Brijesh Waghela. He is a valuable asset of CSE RNGPIT as he is an alumni of our department. Currently, he is working with Reliance Communication Limited as a key account manager for enterprise sales for Maharashtra and Goa region. He has in total 4 years of experience in hardcore sales, including retail B2C and corporate B2B sales. He did engineering in computer science and MBA in telecom systems. He chose management studies and post that sales jobs after doing engineering. We are in GPIT family welcomes you with a great sense of honor. And now it is a time to ask him to take us through his journey and discuss what different opportunities are there for an engineering student in a sales profile. So now, without taking much of your time, I request Mr. Brijesh to start today's session by sharing his knowledge and experiences. Over to you, Brijesh.
Yes, am I audible, sir?
Yes, Brijesh, you are audible.
Yes. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Brijesh Waghela. I'm currently working as a key account manager, and it is proud feeling for me that being an alumni of FETR and now RNGPIT, they have considered me as a key expert speaker, and it is opportunity for me to give back to my students. I am very much thankful to Madhavi ma'am, NYK sir, and all the RNGPIT family for this opportunity. Let's start with today's topic about the opportunities in sales for engineers. In this, I will try my best to give my valuable knowledge, whatever I have gained in last 4 years of my work experience, along with my academics in engineering and in MBA. The purpose of this webinar is to get a perspective on considering the sales as a job opportunity post your technical studies. Generally, when we take admission in CSE or any other technical discipline of engineering, it is expected that we go into technical field only. There are certain jobs like for CSE, there are developers or testing or analyst jobs, and it is considered that we must pursue that job profiles only. But depending on the interest and your how your career takes new direction, you can also consider sales as another opportunity. So, starting with the life inside campus, my, I mean, as per my experience, I did my engineering in computer science and engineering with a complete technical background. And while in engineering, I completely focused myself to get knowledge and my fundamentals clear on all the technical subjects that is offered during my engineering, like in computer graphics or maybe in languages, in different languages like C, C++, Java. So while doing engineering, I was more focused on making my fundamentals strong on my technical subjects, but always it was my keen interest to go into management. I was always interested to be in the front line of of a business, and it was more convenient for me to be into to communicate my ideas to the other person. But for that, I always interested in IT sales. So for that, it was it was must for me to get a technical knowledge to be strong with my fundamentals. Basics need to be cleared. Post that, I joined MBA into technical in telecom systems, where learned about more technical subjects like R. We had quality assurance. We had depth of database SQL, and other subjects, along with the fundamentals of finance, fundamentals of marketing, into minor. So this helped me to understand what are the technical things or the technical concepts which are required for the industry, as well as the marketing or the finance background of industry. It is always better when you are going for any profile, you need to have both the knowledge. As far as sales is considered, you need to have all the background knowledge of finance and marketing along with the technical. So there in MBA as well as in engineering, I tried to learn more and more different opportunities, more and more different concepts. But as I said, my keen interest was on management side, management side, to be into frontline. I chose sales, or I would say MBA as in my career option for that. And one must always find the interest areas of them in while in engineering or while doing any other studies, that what is your keen interest, and based upon that you must work on your career direction. And there might be many students who are currently doing IT or computer discipline, but they are more interested in like me in management. I was decent in coding while I was in engineering. I did my complete project, that too I was under NYK sir and VCJ sir. But while I was doing coding, it was always in back of my mind that I want to do in management side. So I opt for it. And the main crux of this webinar is, why not sales? Why people should not opt for sales. The people should consider sales as a career opportunity after engineering. So to give us just a glimpse of how product cycle works, basically, is the first is the concept. Whenever you need to develop a product, you first need a concept of it, the problem which lies in the market. So I will take example of Paytm in here. So we all are very much familiar with the Paytm app. So the concept of Paytm app was to ease the payment medium. Like before Paytm, people were using cash as a payment mode. People were using credit cards and debit cards, but not. It was not that much popular among the people. So Paytm saw the opportunity. They developed a concept where they can solve a problem of people. You might have also seen the Paytm ads as in "Chutta nahi hai to Paytm karo." So this was the concept, that was a problem that Paytm saw, and that they created a platform for customers that where they can come over and using app they can do the transaction. So while creating an app, they need to understand what is the problem. So they thought of making an complete application where retailers, I mean the seller as well as the buyer, both can come over and do the transaction. But by making an application is not the end of the cycle. You need to sell, you need to reach your customers. For Paytm, the customers are the retailers or the institutes which sell products, which are the point of sales for the other end consumers, the customers which are consuming that product. So sale is always important for any product. And while post doing sales, it's also important to retain the customer. In retention, there are several other things involved, that you need to understand what are the problem with your product. You need to evaluate your product every now and then, and you need to improve yourself from whatever you are. So I will again coming back to the example of Paytm. Earlier Paytm used to do transaction through the mobile numbers. Today also the mobile numbers are available and QR codes are also available today. So this is the improvement of Paytm. While if you don't want to type in mobile number every now and then, you can just scan it and pay to it. So that is the concept that they again developed and again created and sold to the system. So this cycle always goes on, and if a company or a business stuck in somewhere in any one of this mode, the product will also stuck in the market. So we have, I have already told you that sales is, sales that, but what is sales? Coming back to the concept of sales, I would quote Damon John. Damon John is a famous investor in USA. He's also TV celebrity and also co-founder of Shark Tank. The people who want to do their own startup, who want to have some idea of business and all, they must follow this Shark Tank. So he said, if I invest in a CEO, I need him or her to have experience in sales. Why the people are emphasizing on sales this much? Why sales is so important? So let's go through it, and I will try my best to give you a brief knowledge on it. A sale is a transaction between two or more parties, typically a buyer and a seller, in exchange of money or other assets. So when you buy something, like for example, you buy Colgate from a retailer, you pay for that Colgate, and Colgate, the product is yours and the money is given back to the retailer. That is sale. In financial market, a sale is an agreement between two parties, the buyer and the seller. Like when you buy a LIC policy, you are not buying any product or services. We are doing an agreement with the LIC, with the LIC agent who is the face of LIC. You are buying that policy, and in return you are giving premiums, and the LIC will give you insurance that, okay, if something happens to your life, we will ensure that your family gets the benefits. So when the money is not involved in the transaction, or the other assets are not involved in the transaction between the giver and the buyer, that is completely a gift or donation. That is not considered as sales. For company to grow further, on week on week basis, or monthly basis, or quarterly basis, or yearly basis, to forecast how the business will be grow, how they will go forward in the market. Also, it helps the salesperson or the channel partners in the business to go to customer, have objections of the customer, overcome those objections, negotiate prices. All these are the part of sales. We will further see it in detail. Now, what is marketing? We will always hear that sales and marketing is interrelated. How sales is interrelated with the marketing? So, marketing is a key. The marketing jobs is the understand the marketplace and the perspective of the customer, to understand what is the market of your product, who all are customers in the market, who are you going to target for your product, how your product is fit for the market or misfit for the market. All this evaluation comes in marketing. So you might have seen the ad of Move. In Move ad, you will always see a lady or an old age person who is in pain of maybe in joint pain or back pain or something due to their work or age. So with using Move, they will get relief from their pain. So what this ad shows you, this ad shows you the purpose of the product, and that is the job of marketing. The marketing person will understand what is the purpose of product and will try to communicate to the end customers. So whenever we see Move, we see it as a living product. Marketing also includes a support to the sales system. Without sales, marketing will run short, and without marketing, sales will not have direction. So marketing helps to give direction to the sales, also to build relationship with the customer, also to attract new customer to the product, also to gain or to provide tools and tactics to salesperson, how to attract new customers and how to retain the current customer by adding value to the customer for the product. Coming to the sales process, this is very basic process, and for all the industries, since I am from telecom industry, I will give example of telecom and IT industries, but it is common for all the industries. And for the engineers who are, the purpose of this webinar is to give knowledge about sales to the engineers. Engineers must understand that for any product, be it from technical background, be it from non-technical background, you must have a product knowledge and must know the how sales process works. So first step is the prospecting, to look for the customer. What are your target customers? Second is to make contact. Once you have qualified customers, once you have made customer on board, you have looked for the customer, you need to make contact with the customer through mails or telephone calls or by direct in-person meeting. Then qualify your prospect. Your customer is requiring your product or not? Is your product fit for your customer or not? So that all are the aspects that you need to see and discuss with the customer. Then nurture your prospect. Once your customer understands what you want to sell, make him comfortable with your product, make him understand what are the benefits or what are the value that the customer will incur through your product, and also to understand what customer actually wants from it. Present your offer is to give customer your offer, what negotiating with the customer, what is the contract period, what are the norms, what are the terms and conditions. Also understanding what are the terms and conditions with the customer. The customer might also have their own terms or own policies. Overcome your objections with the customer. If there may be any dispute with the customer, and then close the sale. So depending on the product that you are selling, this sales process may vary in the number of days. The timeline may vary. For the product like with heavy cost will take more time, 15 days, 30 days, maybe 60 days. And products having less value or less cost might close into 1 or 2 days. I will just give example of one of my products that my company sells. It's an internet lease line. When we sell internet lease line is basically a product where we give dedicated bandwidth to the customer. It is not as broadband. It is the dedicated internet that we provide to the customer. While providing to the customer, I need to understand who all my customer base. I mean, is here if he or she is a household user, residential user, he might not require dedicated internet. He might go through the broadband. So while prospecting and making contact, I need to understand what is the segment that I'm targeting. Also, to qualify the customer, I need to make customer understand what is my product. Here comes my technical knowledge. So when I'm selling my product, which is a completely technical lease line, I need to make customer understand how it is beneficial, what sort of bandwidth he gets, how packet drops reduces, what is the latency that I need to maintain with the customer. There are certain applications, ERP systems, which works in certain range of latencies only. So, and in these times, my technical knowledge helps me to make my customer understand the value of my product and then close my sale. What are the types of different sales we have? First is the inside sales. Inside sales, you are dealing with the existing customer of your company. You are regularly taking updates from the customer. If there is any kind of disputes with the customer, is there an issue with the customer, and you try to solve the things with the customer. In outside sales, it's a completely traditional sales where you go out, reach your customers, maybe retail, maybe in corporate institutes, and you sell your products. In support sales, you give support to your outside or inside sales team. You provide data, you provide network, you provide the insights, what customer wants, what are the current market trend that customers will look forward for. Another is client service, which is similar to inside sales, but in client service you are always in touch with the customer, with your customer account base, and in your other stakeholders are also involved with the client services, with the other functionalities of your business like finance and operations and service team. Next is the lead generation or development. This in the sales view, basically generate the leads or generate the opportunity of other sales team for the sales team of your business. Where is the opportunity in the market? Who all are customer require, who might require the kind of product that your company sells? Like if your company is into ERP making systems, so lead generation and development team will go through different platforms like LinkedIn, through Google, or maybe mailing existing customer or getting references from existing customer. They will generate leads and qualify the customer that whether the customer requires your ERP system or not. If your company making hotel management system, the lead generation team will qualify such customers who will require this ERP system. Next is the business development managers. Basically, job of business development managers is to get new business from the market through hardcore sales. They go into market, meet customers, negotiate with them, give them show them different benefits of the products, close their deal, and do sales. Last one are the account managers, the one in which I am currently working. Account manager have the certain set of customers, and they are the face of the company for their customers. Being an account manager, I need to understand what are the needs of my customer currently, what are the issues the customer is facing. Also, is there any new business development happening in the customer business? Like if my customer is, if my customer is from manufacturing industry, customer is starting new plant, that is business opportunity for me. So I need to keep tab on all the business activities of my current existing revenue base, my customers. Also to act as a bridge between the different functionalities of my company, like election, finance, service team, with my customer. So if there is any service issue to customer, I need to take my customer to my service team and have to act like a mediator between them. So this was all the types of customer, types of sales, but the sales commercially can be divided into two parts, that is B2B and B2C. You might have also heard in my introduction that I have 2 years of B2C experience, that is business to customer, and 2 years of B2B, that is business to business experience. So how B2B and B2C are similar, what are the similarities and how they are different from each other, we will just go through it in brief. Both requires excellent customer service and experience. Both are customer centric. We need to understand the customer requirement and add on it. We need to have customer loyalty in both type of commercial businesses. We need to have knowledge of the market. We need to be in a competitive market. We need to always upgrade our products and evaluate our products so that we are matching the needs of the customer right now. But what are the factors that are differentiating between B2B and B2C? B2B is completely a corporate business, and B2C is completely customer and user centric business. It's maybe called as a retail business. In B2B, more focus is given on relationship building, the product feature, while in B2C, more emphasis is given on your brand, your product. I will just give you an example. For B2C, when you go to buy a toothpaste, generally people don't say, I want to have toothpaste. They say, I want to have Colgate. So Colgate is the brand that have developed its name. So it is the product, it's a brand appeal that customer are looking for. The primary motivation for B2B business is to get the strategic advantage and to generate value for the customer. But in B2C, it is more of emotional attachment, economic considerations, personal gratifications, and all this involved in B2C. So in B2C, the products like FMCG belongs to B2C, where in B2B there are institutional products where, like, my company works into B2B. We provide lease line, we provide data center management services. So that all comes into B2B. While in B2B, the product cost is much on higher side. It's also on complex side because so many stakeholders are involved. While you are doing a deal in B2B, you need to deal with, for example, I'm dealing with B2B and I'm selling an IT product. So I will have to deal with the IT manager. I might have to deal with the VP operations, might have to deal with the CTO of the company, the chief technical officer. So in those things, when I'm doing the technical sales, my technical knowledge comes into picture. While in B2C, your end customer is just in front of you. Like, I have experience in Idea Cellular also. I was there into retail business. So I used to have interactions with the customers directly, understanding their problems, understanding what sort of product they want. So that those 2 years helped me to understand how the telecom business works actually, and how are the different factors affecting the customer mindset. When I joined the telecom, I would like to give an example here. When I joined the telecom industry, the industry was going through a big transformation, because when I joined, Jio also joined the business. I joined the telecom industry in 2016 July, and Jio joined in 2016 September. So Jio completely disrupted the telecom industry and completely changed the sales dynamics of the industry. Earlier, we used to consume 1 GB or 2 GB data in the complete month, while after the launching of Jio, we are consuming daily 1 to 2 GB data. So the behavior of customer has changed, and along with the behavior of customer, the companies have to change themselves. So those were the times when the companies understood that now we have to offer much more on lower prices due to competition. So these all are the factors that affects the complete business, be it B2B or be it B2C. looking at the market size of B2B and B2C, the B2B business is a focused and niche. Niche is the kind of jargon that is used majorly in MBA, but niche is the specific segment or the segment where the customers are less. B2C, in B2C, the segment is large. The products the companies make, that for example the applications that company makes, that is targeted to vast audiences. So there is a difference between B2B and B2C also based upon the market size. In B2B, we are more focused on the relationship building. In B2C, we are more focused on the transaction value. How many products are sold? In B2B, how many customers are with me? So there is a difference in ideologies of B2B and B2C on this factor. Also, the sales cycles in B2B are larger and in B2C are smaller. Okay, moving forward to my experiences. Like as I said, I was working with the Idea Cellular for 2 years. You can see in the left, there's one umbrella activity which is going on. We used to do this, and I must also mention that this image was taken at 7 a.m. in the morning. So this is the dynamics of market there. Where you need to start early for the sales or not. In second picture, you can see that there are two pictures. One is in retail shop where we are felicitating our retailer for doing achievement, and next picture is where we are rewarding our distributors. The distributor plays a key role in B2C business. You also need to understand the factors which are affecting distributors. Also, the distributors are the one who take the products from the company and resell it to the customers, keeping some margin with it. So this is the currently where I'm working. This is one of my customers, First Cry, and the next picture shows one of the restrooms of my customers. And as I said, there is more into relationship building in the corporate business. So how you are dealing with your customers and vendors is also important. Also, how you are understanding the customer's need is also important. So why sales is important for any business? So Henry Ford, the founder of Ford company, once said that nothing happens till someone sells something. So we all know that sales is the backbone of any company, any business. To run a wheel of business, you need sales. Sales gives a push. So unless your products are not sold, the business will not get revenue to run forward. Cash flow is the lifeblood of every business. As I said, there's money which is required to run the business. All business planning begins and ends with the sales forecast. The sales forecast is the how you will grow in the business. What will be your way forward in next week, next month, or maybe next quarter or next year. So this will help your business to grow in the industry. This will help your business to sustain in the industry. If you have cash flow, you will sustain. If you have cash flow, you will have ample resources to improve yourselves, to get a new product for the customer. Product and market fit. This one is also important while understanding the sales. If your product is not fit for the market, if your product is not fit for the market ecosystem, or maybe is not timely positioned in the market, your product will become misfit and customer will not accept that product. I will give a small example on it. You might have heard about the Yo bikes, the electrical bikes company, which I was when I was in 10th in 2008. One of my friend used to use these Yo bikes, but at that point of time there was not the favorable ecosystem in the market, so the company could not do well. The people who were using electrical vehicles at that time abandoned them. They stopped using them. But now in 2020, you can see we have electrical cars. We are more focused on environment benefits. We are more focused on eco-friendly vehicles. So now the government is developing ecosystem. So you might see more electrical vehicles now than 10 years back. So that is a market fit. Your product needs to, have impact on the market, also impact on the minds of people. If your sales are good, your product is good. If your sales are good, it shows you that the people are liking your product. So when your product is is going good in the market, vice versa, it also shows the market is accepting your product. So that communicates the value of your product or value of your company into the market, that yes, this is a company that is making good product. For example, Paytm. Again, coming back to the example, I'm giving example of Paytm because it is known to everyone, it is familiar to everyone. When in case of Paytm, they first started with the mobile recharge, prepaid, postpaid, billing of electricity. Now they have evolved themselves and they have their own payment uh, portal. I mean, they have own payment method. You can pay through Paytm. They also have a payment gateway that they are launching for the startups in India. So they are communicating to market that they have these products. Also, you can pay your credit card bills through Paytm. So there are different varieties that Paytm is giving to market, and market is responding well with to them. So this is how the value of the product is increasing, how the value of business is increasing in the market. So let's talk about what are the essential skills for the sales that you must develop while you're progressing for sales. First is the product knowledge, which is very important. That's why I'm telling that when you are doing engineering and you are going for technical sales, the product knowledge is important. Your fundamentals are always important. When your fundamentals are clear, your basics are clear, you know how the product will fit into customer's need. Half of your uh, half of your job is done. Second is the strategic prospecting skills. You need to have a skill. You need to have a strategy how you will uh, target your customers. What are your target customers? How your product is fit for them. Third is the buyer seller agreement. Once you are dealing with the customer, you will show the value, the benefits of your product to the customer. In return, customer will give you the requirement. What are his requirements? How your product can fit into his requirement. Another one is the active listening and communication part. It is one of the most important things, I would say, because you need to listen and gather the requirement of the customer, as well as you have to communicate well about your product to your customer. If you are not able to communicate the value of your product, the customer won't buy it. So that is one of the most important things. Qualification questioning. You need to have a right question to the customers. Until and unless you won't ask right questions, you will not get the right answers from the customers, and that will delay your deals. So that qualification questioning is also important for it. Time management, to understand the sales cycle. If the product is rightly fit with the customers, then timely closing the deal. Also to keep customer involved and manage the customer. Next is objection prevention and handling. The right skill is to prevent the objection, then to handle the objection. You need to be very clear, very precise and transparent with your product to your customer, so that there are no major objections or no major objections prevailing in the mind of customer. And if there are any, you need to have skills to handle it. Demo your skills while selling the product. Show him what is your knowledge. Show him how your product is best for him. Show him how post sales or maybe after sales involvement will be there from your side. Gaining commitment and closing techniques. You need to get customers commitment on the deal. You need to resolve all the objections. You need to close the deal as per the norms, terms and conditions agreeable for both customer and you. And then the post-sales relationship management, as I said, being an account manager, what I do is customer relationship building. I need to understand what are the issues that customer is facing time to time. Also to bridge the gap between the service team and the customer, the finance team and the customer, and then helping customer to build a relationship with the company, get a comfort with the company, so that I can get more business from the customer. So that's all was from the sales side, which I wanted to explain. Now give you a brief, what are the industries that you can look forward for, or the industry I'm working in, the telecom industry. You can see that Indian mobile industry contributes over 140 billion to India's GDP in 2015, which have certainly increased. We have total subscriber base of 1.2 billion, and it is expected to reach 1.4 billion by 2020. So there is a vast opportunity available in the telecom industry on all the fields, not only sales, but in all the different job profiles. But since I'm from sales, I will give you the perspective of sales. Digital India is expected to create 1.3 trillion business opportunity by 2020. As we are more focused on Digital India, we are more focused in digital economy also, and our government is more focused on building skill set based on Digital India. Also, number of internet users in India is expected to reach 829 million by 2021. So there is a vast scope of opportunity in telecom industry. There is a vast scope of investment opportunity, since there is 100% FDI allowed in telecom. So there will be new jobs, new business, new horizons in the telecom industry. Let's now see the trends which telecom industry provides. First is the mobile payments. We all know that we are moving towards more and more on mobile payments. We have different UPI platforms available for us for banking interface, for security and storage. Also, there are non-traditional telecom services which are also growing. Since we are in lockdown from past almost 3 months, we are more on e-education now. We are more consuming digital contents. You might be having all the subscriptions of OTT platforms, be it Amazon, Netflix. They are giving new values. So there are different opportunity into this industry also. Also in telecom part, we are growing from 4G to 5G. Our ecosystem is growing. Our telecom companies are moving from 4G ecosystem to 5G ecosystem. Also, the industry is growing into IoT, VR, AR, and cloud computing. You might have heard that many of the company are now moving towards cloud since past 4-5 years. Why? Because no one wants to, have resources on the premises, have one special skill set person on the premises. So these technologies are growing, and with the growth of industry, the opportunities also grow. So I would rather than suggestion, I will recommend you to have your basics clear in your part, so that you can understand how industry is growing and then further take the move. Talking about the IT and ITS industries, you can see that from financial year 2015, we have grown a lot in financial year 2019. The dark blue part shows the domestic revenue, and the blue part shows the foreign export that we are doing. You might also be aware that India is the largest market. India have the largest market share in global service resourcing industry. We are the second largest tech startup hub of the world, and also the second highest number of internet users in the world. So we have ample amount of opportunity. We just need to understand the concepts. We just need to understand where the opportunity lies. And trust me, if you can survive a sales job, you can survive any job, and the sales will remain evergreen. So, but while we are talking about the IT sales, about the technical sales, you must have the fundamentals clear. You must have the basics strong, and that's why I'm recommending you to have your engineering concepts very strong, and post that based on your interest, you can offer sales. That there are many different opportunities in sales. There, as I said, there are different types of sales where you can look forward for. So, ending on my topic, I would say, what next than sales? I mean, if you are already doing into sales, or if you are going for it, then what next? There are different other profiles which have emerged in last 2 3 years. One of them is customer success manager. The companies are more focused. The skill sets in this is more focused on having a happy customer. To have a customer satisfaction is must for the company, and for that this profile have been generated. This product management you can utilize. Like I said, when I was in idea, I was into retail business. I understood how and what the customer wants, so I know what the products or the what are the different plans that customer is looking for. Is the customer ready to buy 1,000 rupees plan for 1 month, and which the value is not meeting the customer's expectations? So all this part comes into product management. Let's also take example of any ERP system. If your ERP system doesn't match with the system of the customer's needs, then there's issue now. So product management involves everything. What is the requirement of market, the requirement of customer, and what best your business can provide. Also the brand management. People nowadays go for brands. People look forward for brands. They trust brands. When you go for buying clothes, you see Isroli, you see Louis Philippe, you see Peter England. So they are brands. You see them, you trust them. So their brand management is also important, which you can go once you have understanding of sales, once you have understanding of customer behavior. Merger and alliances includes how two businesses or how two different entities can merge themselves, how business can align themselves and go further, how the product can combine and give a more benefit to customer. Revenue assurance is one of the major profiles that you can also look forward for. In revenue assurance, you are helping your business to assure the certain revenue which is not lost. I mean, the customer retention part, to understand the customer issue, resolve them, improving them, so that customer is not lost during the business. And then also you can have a consultant's job where you consult your customer. This is more into consultative sales, where you are complete in and out with the customer, understanding the customer requirement and making product based on the customer's requirement. So it is more into customized sales, much more into consultative sales, where you understand the complete customer's knowledge and make product according to it and deliver it. So that's it from my side. I have kept my last slide as an to be continued because I have just experience of 4 years and I know I will grow more and the story is still pending. Okay, that's it from my side.
Yeah, thank you, Brijesh. You have effectively shared key points and very well explained the analysis of the sales industries in a very simple way to all the participants. And I would like to request our panel member, Dr. Madhavi Desai, to share her view for today's session. Ma'am.
Yes, Mr. Brijesh, it was a really wonderful session because I think in all the webinar series, I think today is our in our department also it is 70. More than that webinar is there. I think 20th webinar is there today, and this is key concept now I think introduced in this webinar because as you first you have explained in a very well manner the whole cycle, that is concept, create, sales and retain, even what is the B2B and B2C, even what are the requirements or what are the essential skills required to be in sales. Okay, and the most important key point is the customer requirement will change. Okay, you have to change your product, you have to change your plan because you need to we need to sustain ourselves in this dynamic market. Okay, if I consider we have given the session name is that sales opportunity as an engineer, means we want to say why we are considering this era. Okay, but I think I can say that if you are going in any type of area, if you are not going in the sales marketing, okay, but if you are going to develop to start up your technical things, if you want to start your job as a programmer, is if you are starting your job as a developer, or you are as a network engineer in any area, finally, as you told, that sales is the final step. Okay, if we are not able to sell our product, then there's no meaning of it. Okay, so in each and every area, the skills are required, as you told. Okay, and the most important thing, uh, I heard so many times that when process is going on, and at that time, people are thinking that engineers will get job or not. Okay, but actually there is a lot of opportunity for engineers. If you are a computer engineer, or even I can say any engineering branch you are considering, but as you told that if your basic concept is clear, okay, and if you are going into the market, you will definitely a successful person. Because if you are a simple, I don't want to say any of the degree, but if you are going with the simple degree, and if you are an engineer, you have the basic requirement of your technical skills, and you are going into the market, you can be a successful person in any of the branches, if I can say chemical, mechanical, civil, or computer, or engineering skills. So definitely this is a very, very, very important session, and it was a wonderful session, because
Thank you.
I hope that our students have taken the benefits of this, because if they are doing the project, finally the product development is important. And once you have developed your product, you are able to sell your product or not. That is the key concept. If you are not have that ability, then nothing is there. Okay, so that's really good. And as you told, that it is a continue to be continued. So as your career, it is a to be continued, and as our department also, I'm considering is to be continued, because we will
Sure.
definitely other sessions also with you. So
Thank you.
okay, request Nikunj sir to start our question answer session, because many of the our audience has asked some of the questions. So let's start.
Yes, ma'am. Very well said, ma'am, and thank you, ma'am, for your for sharing your valuable view. And now let's discuss the question which are asked by the audience during this session. Some of the question asked by the viewers in live chats, and some of the question I got from the mail. So let's go for it.
Yes.
Mr. Brijesh, first question I got from the live chat is sale stressful and only targeted oriented?
Like I said, sir, obviously all the jobs are stressful. I mean, if you are taking stress, even the teaching is stressful. So there is no job in world that is not stressful. But yes, you when you are, you are a backbone of any company. You are the one who is responsible for revenue. You need to have more, take more responsibility. And yes, there is some stressfulness in it. There is target oriented, because see, deadlines are everywhere. Even when you are making a product, when you are developing an application, you have deadlines to match with your client. So
Right.
deadlines are everywhere. It is target oriented. But again, if the dynamics of the business is something that interests you, if the dynamic approach interests you, then sales is always fun. As there are few days in months that I also told you about the month end thing. The month end thing, they're very stressful, but rest of the month goes very smooth. And there's a risk and reward ratio includes in it. When you are risking all your mind for the complete month onto selling something, and at the end of month you get those numbers, magic numbers in your achievement. I think that rewards the all the stress and all the targets and all the conversations that went with your boss and all your effort, I would say.
Right, sir. Right, Brijesh. Second question is how is growth in sales after engineering? That's very interesting.
Yes, I mean, as I mentioned also, that sales is not the only stopping point. I mean, if you will see in any business, be it IT business or non-IT, maybe FMCG, anything, the person who are in senior level goes through the sales cycle only. They have done sales initially with the basics and then growth. They some goes into revenue assurance team where they constantly analyzing data, what customer is consuming, what customer wants, what are the new needs that the market is trending towards. Some goes toward the product management. They you know have new products, they develop new products considering the market needs. As I also gave example of Paytm. The Paytm started with the mobile recharge thing initially, but they also now have Paytm malls where you can buy your groceries, where you can buy different things. So that is product management. The persons who initially started with the sales understand what are the requirement or the new trends market is going towards. So yes, there are different other opportunities into product management, into revenue management. Also, if talk about the specific telecom industry, the user, I mean, there is certain one department which assures the usage, which monitors the what is the recharge value that is going on. We term it as an ARPU, average revenue per user. So they also monitor it, whether it is going up or down. If it is going down, what can be done? What are the risk analysis, risk assessment, risk management? All those things are the different opportunities where you can go once you start with sales, and then after 4 5 years of experience, you can go for brand or product or other managements.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. Another question is, can you switch job? Can you switch job profiles after doing sales for a few years?
Yes, definitely. As I said, once you have sales experience, you have experience of customers. You have even know how to communicate your idea. You while doing sales, you might in get an accidental idea of new business, the new requirement or the new problem which lies in the market. So you can come up with a new idea. You can go for your own business, being an entrepreneur. You can be a consultant for other companies to just give them directions and guidelines how the sales to be processed. You can even see that there are many trainers, industry trainers available, who have sales background and now giving training to other salesperson or giving guidelines to other companies so that they can grow in their own fields. So definitely there are other job profiles available. You can go into brand management also. Once you are doing sales, you know what are the how the customer loyalty is to be earned, how to handle the customer issues, and then you can have different directions.
Yes. Next question is specifically regarding the startup, and people are understanding that sales is the major challenges for new entrepreneurs. So, how to tackle this issue at early stage of startup? What's your view, sir?
See, I mean, my experience would be too short to comment on it, but as what I have seen is when you are doing startup, it basically starts with focus on your network. You can focus what all people are in your network. You can do sales through networking. You can ask your friends and other colleagues to refer you or to give you leads, or you can generate leads from LinkedIn also. You can keep a watch. There are different jobs also which helps you to generate leads. But while you are in startup, you initially should start for the networking, so that through your references you will get sales leads. Work on it, and based on the existing leads, you can also get new leads through references. So this is how chain works for startups.
Right. Other question is very interesting. What are the opportunities of sales for students who are beginner in this corona pandemic situation?
Yes, I would like to share my experience currently. Since past 3 months, also I am in Pune, and since past 3 months, I'm locked down in my home, and but the sales process is not stopped. We are in continuous engagement with the customer, and as I said, being account manager is my responsibility for customer relationship building also. So I started with a new exercise in this duration, that I started calling and emailing my existing customers on weekly basis. So I have somewhere around 150 customers which I'm handling, and on daily basis I talk with 4 5 customers, get a view how their company is handling it. By this way, customer is developing confidence in me that okay, this person is responding to my requirements, this person is involved with me in business relationship. So I definitely, during this pandemic, everyone is locked down at their homes. They are not able to go out and sales directly, but sales has an important aspect of relationship building also. If you are not able to focus more on new sales, focus on relationship building with the existing customers and get a resale from existing customer. Then maybe there are concepts of upselling where you can upgrade the current services. There are concepts of cross selling, that if customer is using one service, you can sell another service. So you need to continuously be in relationship with the customer. So I would say this kind of in this such kind of relationship, you such kind of situations, sorry, you can focus more on relationship building with the customer.
Right, right. This is the basic requirement to sell, I think. Next is job in sales means a lot of traveling. What do you say, Brijesh?
A lot, based on my experiences, when I was in Idea, I used to travel around 40 45 kilometers daily,
Okay.
because I was into rural market, I was into upcountry market, but depends on your job profile. There are sales like inside sales or support sales, mainly consultative sales, where you don't have to travel much, but you take prior appointment with the customer, the meetings are scheduled, and the scheduled traveling is not that much hectic. When you are traveling more unscheduled, then it becomes hectic. So in sales, yes, you have to travel, but it completely depends on the product, completely depends on the company, whether your traveling time is around 10% 20% of your complete time, or on majorly 60 70% time. It completely depends.
So, Brijesh, how we can reduce this traveling thing? If you suggest
See,
some tips.
yes, definitely go for the scheduled meetings. Have a good, as I also mentioned in one of the skills, is qualifying questions. When you ask qualified questions to your customer, you will get qualified answers, you will get right answers. When the customer is available, how you can schedule, whether it is required to go in person and meet the customer always. Like we have in last 2 months, we have seen everything that we can work from home literally. We
Yes.
have used different applications, we have used different mediums for meetings, and now you might have also heard about the news that companies like Infosys are focusing more on work from home. So it is not always required to go in person for the sales. It is how effectively you can communicate to the customer. You can even have a telephonic conversation and communicate well about your product to the customer, and just in one meeting you can close the deal, while in-person meeting. So it depends. I would just suggest be right with your questions, be right with your communication, that you are communicating to the customer. So this that will help to make your effective use of your time.
Right, right, Brijesh. Another question is how to do growth sales in marketing.
See, for growth, you need to have an approach that what I have to sell, what may come. I mean, there are all the salespersons who are famous in the industry all over the world. They always recommended that their approach is always to be involved into sales. For growth, involvement is important in any field. I mean, be it sales or be it non-sales. For growth, you need to understand that what is the right direction for me. Always have a involved approach where you can, uh, understand customer, communicate to customer. So those are the essential skills which you need to work upon for the growth, basically.
Right. Yeah, Madhavi, man, if you want to ask something, any question or discuss something with regarding this. Hello, Madhavi, ma'am. Hello. I think Madhavi ma'am is available. Dharmesh ma'am.
Sir, I think there is some issue with network of Madhavi.
Right,
You
right.
can continue the session.
Yeah, sure. I think ma'am has some technical issue, but she sent me a message on WhatsApp. Question is, if students are interested in sales, is
Yes.
there any kind of preparation that they should start doing while they are completing engineering?
Yes, definitely. I would suggest to work on your interpersonal skills. When you work on your interpersonal skills, your behavior, you understand what are your interest areas. When you know you are working on your technical concepts, as you should start working on your personality and behaviors also. Communicate well, do more and more presentations, go for paper presentation thing. So this all thing will help you to grow as a personality, also to help you to grow good communication skills, and have a confidence that yes, you can stand up to the podium and deliver whenever it is required. So sales is a job where you need to be dynamic. You have to have readiness in you that okay, I need to speak on this or I need to sell this. So while preparing for it, you know uh, as I also mentioned with you, sir, earlier when we were discussing this topic, all these essential skills are also important when you are going for your student campus placements. There also you have to sell yourself. So while you are selling even yourself, you need to understand what are your strengths, what are your weakness. You need to show and communicate the other person that these are my strengths and I am the best fit and the best fit product for your requirement. So while I mean every day is sales, you whether you are selling a product or whether you are selling yourself to a company for job, you need to understand that your right communication is very important. You need to be dynamic, that is also important. You need to understand what are your strengths and what are your weakness. You need to have a knowledge of objection handling, objection prevention, like we do while we are giving interviews, that we try to avoid certain questions that interviewer must not ask us, so that we don't get fumble on it. So that is everything is sales. You can, at the end when you, yeah, at the end of your day when you go for sleep, just look everything with a perspective of sales, and you will see that everyone is salesperson. Either you are selling your logic, either you are selling your you know development, either you are selling your knowledge. Being a
Yeah,
teacher, you're always approached to give more and more knowledge to your students. So there is no
yes,
any transaction involved in it, but you are already working on it, and you are more emphasizing on how you can grow so that you can deliver it to your students. So
Right.
I would say there's always sales, and keep working on your personality,
Yes.
keep working on your communication skills. That will do.
Yeah.
Perfect,
Thank you,
Mr.
Brijesh.
Brijesh. I'm really agreed with your answer that each student have to have to consider himself or herself as a product, and if you sell yourself, then you can sell each and everything in your life. Okay, so
Yes.
that's a
Thank you.
answer, I think. But one more thing, what are the other opportunities in telecom industry that you think that we might see in future or our students can see in future?
Yes, there are certain niche areas that developing in the telecom industry, because telecom industry is becoming as a fundamental industries for other industries, for other trends which I mentioned. Since we are looking at trends of VR, AR, even in marketing, you might have seen in the 2014 Narendra Modi's campaign that he did 3D meetings with the with the people, where he was sitting at one place and communicating at 7 8 different locations. So we are in going in that era where virtual reality is taking over, where augmented reality is taking over, where you know internet of things we are involving. So there will come an opportunity, there will come a business opportunity for the students, for the other people working on in sales and non-sales, that they can use this trend to get a problem and get a solution to that problem. We already have many new businesses, many new companies which are coming up with a marketing based on augmented reality. As saw in the promo of college, we have tie up with the Reliance Geo. You must ask Reliance Geo and have schedule a visit to Dhirubhai Ambani Knowledge Center in Navi Mumbai of Reliance Geo, where they have completely made a home based on IoT, Internet of Things. You can manage the complete home from your mobile. So there also telecom plays a part as a base. So there are ample amount of opportunities available in the telecom industry.
Yes,
Yeah,
that will
Brijesh.
take a market, I think.
Sorry, ma'am, please come again.
Yes, as you told that Geo has introduced each and everything is in
Uh,
home. So
hmm.
that will take a market, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, Brijesh. I think so many questions those are asked to you, and you very well answered to it. And the aim that across we come together, right? If any engineering background people are there and they want to move to the sales market, so it's a big industry, big scale industry is there, and anyone can move to this, and you are the live example of it, and you are
Yes.
we consider that you are still very successful in your career path.
Thank you.
So we are now towards the ending this session. So really valuable and realistic points were discussed and answered in this session very well. And hope you enjoy the session and gain knowledge about sales industry and its scope. And now we move forward to the end of this session. But before ending this session, I want to give vote of thanks. So on behalf of entire RNG Patel Institute of Technology and Computer Science and Engineering Department, I, Professor Nikunj Kansara, would like to extend our most heartfelt appreciation to our students of the webinar for sharing his knowledge and experiences with us and explaining that options available in the sales industry after the engineering. And Mr. Brijesh, your knowledge made it more meaningful and memorable for us. Thank you for sharing your valuable
Thank
time
you,
with
sir.
us. Yeah, and last but not the least, my heartfelt thank you to the whole managing committee of our RNGPIT Institute for providing resource and a platform to execute series of webinars very smoothly. Dr. Latesh B. Chaudhary, sir, principal of RNGPIT, for showing personal interest with the right visionary direction to get success of this webinar. Dr. Madhavi Desai, ma'am, head of the Computer Science and Engineering Department, RNGPIT, for always guiding and motivating us to arrange such webinars. Also, thanks to coordinator of this live session, Mrs. Dharmishtha Ma'am, Assistant Professor, Computer Science and Engineering Department, RNGPIT, for allowing us to go live and share knowledge via digital platform in this pandemic COVID situation. And lastly, thanks to all participants, our students, faculties, out of the college people have and actively participate and spend the valuable time for attending this webinar and making it more interactive. Thank you all. Stay home, be safe and healthy, and keep learning. Thank you all. Thank you.